imagination, okay, and we're going to discuss how to make it better, how to create a better imagination out of what you have, okay, and how to use it, how to actually fine tune it and expand your imagination, okay. Now, what is imagination really? Okay, it's your mind's ability to create experiences. Good morning, Jay. That are not yet here. Okay, imagination. Imagine. Okay, now when you're a kid, you imagine all kinds of stuff, right? Okay, and then what happened? Well, then you had to grow up. Okay, um, yeah, you had to grow up. What happened? Well, you had to leave the imagination behind. Why? Well, because it wasn't cool, right? You know, when you became a teenager, it wasn't cool to fantasize anymore. It wasn't cool to, play with sticks and pretend they're guns, stuff like that, right? Because when you're young, you imagine, okay? But then when people tell you, well, that's childish, you can't do that anymore. You need to leave that be. You need to be mature, okay? That's one of the worst pieces of advice that you could get, but I get it, okay? And when I was young, I just didn't fall for it. I stuck with my imagination because of several reasons, but the biggest one being that I had fun. And my brain is, ADHD, so it jumps tracks. Now, when you use imagination and you jump tracks, life becomes very, very fun in here, okay? So, but that's just me, all right? Now, in manifestation, or let's say it another way, goal setting, goal accomplishment to accomplish your goals. Okay, why is imagination important? It's important because you have to see yourself there. You have to see the final result. So many people are numb. Okay, and we talk about societal hypnosis all the time, but so many people are numb from the distractions. Okay, there's a lot of noise out here in the physical world. Okay, and when I say noise, I mean distraction. Okay, noise from your television, noise from social media, noise from your friend group, noise from whatever. Anything that's other than stillness, anything that's other than peace. Okay, things that keep moving, everything that keeps moving. Okay, so these experiences that you need to create with your imagination help you in manifestation. How does it help? Well, it helps in manifestation because it gives you a movie, it gives you a clear picture. Okay? Now, you can imagine yourself on a boat, on a lake. Okay? Can you imagine a small boat, a big boat, a yacht, whatever you can imagine? Now, some people use imagination or they speak of imagination like, I can't imagine blah, 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 whatever, right? Okay, I can't imagine owning a Mercedes. I can't imagine owning a Learjet. I can't imagine owning a hotel, okay? Because it's too big for them to conceptualize in their imagination. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how you can grow your imagination. Okay, because your boundaries in life are only as restricted as your imagination. Okay, because when you don't use your imagination to expand, okay, you're only limited to the amount of thoughts, or let's say the amount of visualization that you can have in your head. Okay, because you have to see it in your mind so you can hold it in your hand. Okay, you have to see it in your mind so you can hold it in your hand. Bob Proctor said this. He was talking about visualization. The quote is about visualization. Okay, so imagination, okay, you have to picture future possibilities or something that you see that's in the future that you create in your mind as a movie, and that's what you stick to in your imagination. So the best way to do this is in your meditation. In my meditation, I have several things, several of these movies. Okay, and I constantly watch these movies in my meditation because I have them in my mind. They came to me through meditation. Okay, and I'll explain how this happens. Okay, but you need to revisit them and you need to reshape them constantly. So, what I mean is, you need to think these ideas through, okay, and then you need to improve on them or tweak them or adjust them, okay. Um, so when you start to get into the neuroscience terms and imagination and oh, Toomey, good morning, Toomey, happy New Year, you guys, happy New Year. And yeah, Happy New Year, you guys. Sorry, I just got into it. Happy New Year. 2026 already. Whoa. Okay, so in neuroscience terms, okay, when you want to get into science, because I like to present the science as well. Um, so the difference between science and woo woo, okay, or let's say spiritual talk, is the way you present things. And sometimes I present it spiritually, and sometimes I present it scientifically. But let's look at the science. So, in neuroscience, imagination recruits many of the same brain networks, okay? Meaning that your mind trains imagined experiences as almost real. Okay, then what happens? Well, then your subconscious gets involved, and your subconscious looks for confirmation and tries to form these concepts for you. It tries to conceptualize the reality. Okay, in other words, like, how can I make this real for Junior? Right? My subconscious would be thinking, oh, okay, how can I make this real for him? So it searches for the answers, and the superconscious provides the pathway. Superconscious, God, Jesus Christ, Allah, however you believe. I'm not here to tell you how to believe. Okay? But when you go about this process, okay, your imagination will influence your behavior. Okay, so this is not like, oh, I imagine and then it's like rubbing Aladdin's lamp and then boom, here you are. No, it's not like that. It influences your behavior, okay, your motivation, your emotion, and the emotion imprints your subconscious. Okay, so when you are imagining and you imagine with feeling, guess what happens? It goes straight to your subconscious. Then your subconscious gets it as a belief. And then your subconscious goes, oh, okay, you're imagining this, and it begins to work on it. So now you start producing actions towards that eventuality, towards what you had in your imagination, towards your visualization. Then you start to walk towards that visualization, okay, as an eventuality without your knowledge. You don't even know that you're creating these behaviors. You don't even know that your body language is changing. You don't even know that you begin to perform actions conducive to arriving at your desired outcome. Let's say it that way, your desired outcome. Okay, now this happened with my Waikiki show. This happened with my consultant firm. This happened with like almost everything. Almost everything I've done. Every business I've created, everything I've done. And I can see it. And the difference is when you're aware or when you know these things, when you know about these things, then you can start to put the pieces together because then you go, oh, okay, it's like this. I understand it now because you understand the individual components, the conscious, subconscious, superconscious, imagination. Okay, we're going to get into the seven cognitions of the mind. Maybe tomorrow if we can. Okay. But these things are in you. This is not voodoo. This is not witchcraft. This is not any mystical science or mystical. Yeah, it's science. It's not mysticism. It's not made up. It's not something that somebody wrote in a Harry Potter book. This is reality. Okay, and I teach, and this is why I provide a lot of the science. William Tell, the goal between a goal and a mission. Okay, yeah, you asked me that question before. Why don't you message me and I'll give you the answer in detail because that's going to take us off of. What about outside controlling factors? Yeah, so that's your resistance. Your resistance is your persistence Because when you're persistent with your goals, you are resisting other things or temptations or that kind of thing. Jay, Jesus is Lord. Yes. In your religion, he is. I take it you're a Christian, Jay. Are you a Christian? So, so none of this is magic. Like I said, this is, and whoever you think created you, whoever you think your creator is, Jay thinks it's Jesus or God, and Jesus is the Son of God. So, so I'm not here to tell you what to believe or how to believe. Okay, what you believe and how to believe is up to you. So, with neuroscience, what it says is these things come to you as real possibilities. And then your actions begin to become conducive to your goal. And that's the way it happens. Okay, so conscious mind, subconscious, superconscious. And the superconscious would be what we call God, or however you define that, however you believe that. If you believe it's source, if you believe it's divine intelligence, higher intelligence, infinite intelligence, if you believe it's the universe, however you refer to it. But that's what the energy is, and it's inside of everyone. So now, when you think about expanding your imagination or developing your imagination, right? Because, like I said, most people leave it behind. And if, yep, yep, there you go, Jay. Good job, good job. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Your name is written in the book of life in heaven, and we don't get thrown into the second death. Yes, that's true. Yep. And your book of life is your subconscious. Everything is written in your subconscious. So, and this is why, Jay, this is why when people have very negative, uh, you know, beliefs in their subconscious, they can pray all they want to, and their prayers don't get answered because they keep getting sucked down into their subconscious. So, and that's why it's important to change your beliefs in your subconscious, okay? So that the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious can work together. So now, reigniting your sense of curiosity is important, okay? To develop your imagination. We're talking about imagination today, okay? Where do you think heaven is, Jay? I'm just curious to your level of education. You got the Holy Spirit who resurrects you, sits at the right hand. Yes. Do you know why he sits at the right hand of God? Do you know why Jesus sits at the right and not the left? Put an answer there. I want to see your level of knowledge. So, you reignite your sense of curiosity by asking questions, by questioning things. Okay? So when you question things, your subconscious is obligated to answer. You can just ask yourself a question. Ask yourself what happened, where was your favorite park when you were 8 years old or something, whatever you can, remember. And then ask yourself a question about it. Like, oh, what happened in sixth grade when I learned to do XYZ or whatever? And your subconscious will start answering you. You may not get the answer right away, okay? But the more you do this, the better you get at it, okay? The more you exercise your subconscious, the better your subconscious gets. The more you get in tune with your superconscious or your, let's say, infinite intelligence or God, okay, the better that relationship becomes. Okay, so things flow. Jesus is, okay, let's see, because Jesus died as a sacrifice, that's not why he sits at the right hand. Okay, that's Sunday school knowledge. You've been to a lot of Sunday school, huh, Jay? That's not why. Why does he sit at the right hand of the Father and not the left? That's the question. Okay, so Jay, Jay's trying to answer this question. So you reignite your sense of curiosity. Okay, what does this do? This stimulates thought. Okay, it stimulates thought. What does that do? Well, when you start asking questions like, what if? What if this? Why not that? Okay, then you'll start to get answers. Now, these answers will be channeled to you. Okay, channeling. Okay, there's two different kinds of channeling. One is through your subconscious, one is through the superconscious, or God, or intuitive thought. Okay, and Jay's still trying to answer what question? Answer the because you're talking about all right. You're talking about the right hand of the Father, why he sits at the right and not the left. I'm waiting to see if Jay knows, but I will tell you. Sure. Okay, I'll tell you. Hang on. So so when you start asking what if this happened? Okay, and write down your what ifs in the beginning because you're going to want to expand on these thoughts. This is a thought exercise. Okay, because in order to be really really good at manifestation, or let's say manifest quickly, these things have to be in alignment. Okay, and I'm talking about your conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. The conscious mind makes the decision and forms the target. It says, okay, we're going to go after this. Okay, the subconscious has to believe in what you're asking. Ask, believe, receive. It's in the Bible, Mark 11:24. Okay, for you Christians like Jay. Because God said so? No, that's not why, Jay, but thank you. It's because God is represented in the right hemisphere of your brain. That's where intuition comes from. That's where you communicate with God, in the right hemisphere. The journey of Moses was from the left to the right. Okay, so esoterically, you move from the ego on the left over here to intuitive thought and intuitive direction and God's presence on the right hemisphere. Jesus sat down at the Father's right hand to send us the Holy Spirit. Well, Jesus is located in the right hemisphere of your brain. Okay, Jesus is in here, God is in here. Okay, there is no heaven out there. Okay, well, yeah, that's good for you, Jay. I'm glad, but you shouldn't believe the Sunday school stories. You should actually get some knowledge on that. So, anyway, so when you're developing your imagination, okay, when you're starting to, let's say, use it more, okay, because it's still there. You've just turned it off, okay? This is like leaving a car in a garage. You still own the car. You still have the car. You still have title to the car. But now the battery's dead because you left it sitting in the garage and you didn't use it. Okay? This is the same thing for your subconscious. Okay? If your subconscious is rarely, if you rarely direct your subconscious, or let's say give it orders, or let's say give it instruction, it doesn't work as well as when you always do it. Okay? So let me show you what subconscious instruction looks like. It looks like this. Okay, so this is my legal tab that I'm working on now. Okay, and then this is a used one. Now this is not journaling. These are affirmations. Okay, and we're gonna talk about affirmations one day soon. But these are affirmations that you do every day. And the reason why you do it every day because you want to keep your subconscious fine-tuned. Okay, it's just like a car. You want to take it in and get it serviced and have it tuned up for its best performance. Okay, now if you don't do that, what happens? Well, then your subconscious doesn't work as fast or as sharp as you want it to. This is the same thing as when you're thinking. Okay, if you hardly think, if you just get distracted into things and you're not really thinking your own thoughts, or let's say processing something, or really going over something, or concentrating or focused on something, it's very easy to get distracted. Okay, as kids, hi Rita, as kids, yeah, all the time, yes. Oh, absolutely, because you need it to manifest things, Rita. So zealous for attention. No, actually, Jay, I've studied esoteric knowledge since I was 13. Yeah, everybody wave goodbye to Jay. Bye, Jay. All right, so Jay, we're not focused. We're not studying God today. Okay, we're studying the human being and how we manifest through the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. Okay, God is the creator. Okay, we're not talking about the creator today. We're talking about the creation. We're talking about us and how we can manifest things easily into our world. So yeah, Rita, let me yeah, you're absolutely correct. Wayne Dyer is correct. Yes, I've experienced his teachings. He is very correct on that. So what happens is, yeah, you are guilted, okay, into not using your imagination. They tried to do it to me when I was a kid, okay, and they used to say things like, "Oh, there you go with your wild imagination." So they tried to make me feel guilty about using my imagination. Okay. But my imagination made me all of my money in my adult life. Okay. Because I got into comedy, I got into radio, I got into television. Okay. I composed over 300 songs. I have 9 albums on iTunes. You can put my name into. Hi, I'm sorry, I don't understand German, but hello, Germany. How are you doing? The net 007. So, anyway, okay, but in for creativity, you have to use your imagination to manifest things into your life. And I didn't find this stuff out until 2007. But after that, things were so easy because I had the formula. I'm like, okay, all they tell you is ask, believe, receive. Part of the believing part is your imagination. Everyone has their own perception. Okay? Everyone creates their own reality. You are guided into other realities. Okay? So you're influenced by movies. Okay? Whatever that reality of the movie is, okay? So you get hooked into the story. Okay? So whatever that is, it becomes part of consciousness. Okay? Or let's say it another way. It becomes a part of your conscious world. But everything is subconscious. Why is that? Well, because subconscious is 95% of your life. Now, if you watch the movie and let's say you believed a couple of things in the movie, it will start to manifest in your world. If that movie, right, normally movies get seen by millions of people, right? If that movie gets seen by millions of people, and let's say there was an overall theme to the movie, and people believed the theme, you would start to see that theme manifest in the world. And you see a lot of things. There's a lot of things you see, and you go, hey, it's just like that movie I saw, right? Because it's manifesting into the world. If you're aware, you see it. If you're not aware, you won't see it. I see it all the time. And these are what we call synchronicities when that happens. There are many synchronicities. So let me give you an example. You're standing on the corner talking to your friend about going out to a steak dinner this weekend, and you see the meat truck drive by with a picture of the cow on it. That's a synchronicity. Sure, absolutely. Marge, absolutely. Joy always returns. You have to choose joy. Choose joy and then do things that make you joyful. Okay? Maybe watch comedies, whatever you enjoy. Things that you enjoy. If you enjoy going to the museum, go to the museum, that kind of thing. If you enjoy the mountains, go to the mountains. If you enjoy the ocean, go to the ocean. Those kinds of things. But you create your own joy. Okay? So now these ideas that you get, okay, start to manifest in your world when it goes into your subconscious. Imagination gives it life. Okay, so let's say, for example, you want to put into your subconscious that you will make $100,000 a year this year. Or let's say it's 200. Let's go big. Let's go 250. Okay? That's a good living. Okay? 250. 250 a year. So I'm going to make $250,000 this year. You have to imagine that. What does that look like? You know, maybe it looks like you bought a new boat. Maybe it looks like you live in a different house. Maybe it looks like you bought stock. Maybe it looks like, okay, so I'm imagining for you, okay, whatever it looks like. Maybe it looks like you get married or you propose to the girl of your dreams or whatever that is, whatever that means for you, whatever that amount of money means for you. Maybe it's simple things like, well, I can buy my grill now, whatever that is, or I can put money in the bank now. Okay, you shouldn't put money in the bank, but if that's where you want it, okay, I would give it to a financial advisor. But so what I'm really trying to tell you is, if you can develop that movie in your mind, that's your imagination. The reason why people cannot see themselves at a destination is because they get it into their subconscious as a belief. Okay, so okay, I'm gonna make 250,000. 250. Now the subconscious looks for verification. It looks for evidence. It tries to form pathways towards that dream. But if you cannot visualize, and that's why we teach affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization, imagination. If you cannot visualize what that is, okay, so there's two types of visualizing. The first is you have to see yourself worthy. Okay, that's the biggest struggle for most people, thinking that they're worthy. Because what happens? Well, because yeah, only rich people get to make 250,000 a year. Oh, only professional people that have degrees make 250,000 a year. Oh, only people that live in that neighborhood get to succeed. Whatever. Okay? Limiting beliefs that are in your subconscious. And this is why I tell you, you can pray all you want. But if you don't get your conscious, subconscious, and superconscious in alignment, your prayers will be in vain. You're not going to get your prayers. You're not going to get what you pray for. Because you'll be asking, okay, please God, bring me 250,000 a year. And in your subconscious, it's, I'm probably not going to get 250 a year. Yeah, probably. Yeah, no, that's I don't have a degree. I don't have, whatever. Okay. God cannot go into a person like that and go, okay, we'll fix this in him. That has to be a conscious decision made by you. You were made by God. God lives in here. But if you're not using this equipment right, if you're not aligning your conscious, subconscious, and superconscious together so that they work synergistically, so when you write your affirmations, right, you write it every morning and you do it for 66 days for one thing to happen. But once you get in the habit of doing it, right, it's easy. Okay, this is a habit. This is a habit right here. Okay, this is a habit. Okay. Is it hard to develop that habit? No. You know how long it takes me to write a sentence? Not very long. 10 seconds, 12 seconds, depending on how long it is. But these are instructions to your subconscious. What happens after that? It starts to look for ways to deliver what you want. The instructions that you give your subconscious. So your affirmation could be, I am so happy and grateful now that I'm confident, thank you. So now when the subconscious believes it, okay, and the first shift is about 2 weeks, 66 days is the time it takes, the minimum, to form a habit in a human being. What happens after that? You start exhibiting actions of confidence. Your body language starts to correct. You start to walk, okay, like this, and sit like this instead of sitting like this, okay? Small incremental things begin to happen. Sometimes you don't notice these things until you're like about a month in. My clients get results by the third session. They're like, whoa, I feel something. I'm not sure what it is, but yes, I feel the difference. And then it's progressive. It just gets better and better and better. Okay, but your imagination is important. Why? Because you have to, first of all, see yourself worthy, and then see the eventuality. So let's say you wanted a big office somewhere, right? You have to picture the office in here. So how do you do that? Go online, okay? Go look for pictures of offices. Okay, when I was building my home studio way back in the 90s, before home studios were a thing, I had looked at other studios to give me ideas on how to imagine my studio. And when I put my studio together, it matched the template almost of a standard home studio. But you need to get ideas, okay? And visual ideas are very, very important. Pictures are important. Human beings respond to shapes, colors, pictures, and words. And if you construct these four things, and this is why advertising works, there's a psychology to it. If you adjust these four things in accordance with what you want to sell, the idea you want to communicate, the process you want to have somebody follow, all of these things, all you need to do is coordinate these four things. Not only does it give you the picture in your mind, it trains your subconscious to go, oh, that's the target? Okay, I believe we're going to do that. And once you convince your subconscious, what does your subconscious do? Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. It keeps repeating over and over and over. So the hard part, if you want to consider it hard, it's not hard. And I don't call it discipline either, because people get turned off, right? They don't like the word discipline, okay? I call it repetition, because that's how the subconscious learns, repetition. So you just repeat. Okay, so just play a game with yourself. Go, okay, I gotta write my affirmation today. And the next day, I gotta write my affirmation. After 2 weeks, it's gonna be, oh yeah, my affirmation. Oh, affirmation. Affirmation. If you leave it on your desk, your nightstand's better. I have two. I have one on my nightstand and I have one here in my office. The nightstand is easier because right before you go to bed, before you turn off the light, you read it out loud. And it stays in your subconscious all night long. You don't think so, but it does. Okay, so if you want to do other things that can help your subconscious, while I'm on the topic, okay, frequency music. On YouTube, there's tons of it. There's commercial free. You got to find the commercial free ones, otherwise it'll jar you awake. Thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Who did that? Let me see. I'm behind. Okay, I don't know how to say that name. Sikgu? Thank you. Thank you so much. Hi. Thank you. But the reason why this gets easier instead of harder is because once you get it in your subconscious takes over, and then it's a habit. And then you go, okay, I just got up. You reach over, you do your sentence, your affirmation, okay? And it becomes a process that you repeat with ease, okay? Your teacher, Fiza. Oh, hi, Fiza. Where are you from? Oh, Malaysia. Wow, Malaysia. Okay. Welcome. Thank you for being here. So this is about the human being. This is not about magic. This is not about some mysterious energy. This is not about some material, it's not a materialistic endeavor. It's not about things. It's about people. It's about places. It's about jobs. It's about opportunity. It's about all of this. But you have to get it in here first. Once you program it in here, it's automatic. Change your mind, change your life. Okay? Automatic. It will happen. Automatic. Anything you can get your subconscious to believe, you will receive. Ask, believe, receive. Okay? Those three things. Ask, believe, receive. Now, that's the process of manifestation. It's in the Bible. It's in the Quran. It's in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay? It's in the Talmud. It's in all sacred writings, all holy writings. Why? Because it's talking about humans. It's talking about us. We're the highest life form. on the planet that we know of. That we know of. There might be something better by now. Okay, but as of this live, I've only heard of human beings as being the highest intelligence. Okay, where do you think they get AI from? They get AI from us. AI is a technological manifestation of the human being. Okay, and AI can do things faster. Why? Because well, they've sped up the process. It's the same process. So let's look at the conscious mind. The conscious mind, if we want to relate it to computers, your conscious mind that selects the target, the topic, is your operating system, your logical, your right conscious thoughts. Those thoughts go where? Into your subconscious. This is the hard drive where programs are created and stored. So you keep thinking a thought over and over. A belief is a thought you keep thinking. It goes in your subconscious as a belief. Then what happens? Well, then it starts looking for confirmation. It starts looking for ways to make it happen. Now you have the superconscious. What's the superconscious? It's the network that we're all plugged into. It's called awareness. Okay, we are all aware as humans. We are the microcosm of the macrocosm. We are the smaller units of energy of the big unit of energy. Now, if you want to call that energy God, if you want to call that energy Allah, however, however you believe, I'm not here to tell you what to believe. But guess what? When you use your imagination and you rehearse the eventuality in your mind, when you're lying on your pillow at night and you see yourself, maybe it's a vacation. Okay, let's say vacation. Let's say it's a vacation in Bali. And you see you see yourself on that beach, and you see yourself, in the sun or whatever it is. Okay, use your imagination. Okay. Eventually, what happens? Your subconscious, when your subconscious believes in the Bali vacation, you might get a thought like, well, maybe I should put some money away. Maybe I should get a side hustle. Maybe I should borrow the money just because we need to get away for a trip. Okay, all of these things. And then you make the decision, you make the choice. But your subconscious will start giving you variables on how this can happen. Now, what keeps us from manifestation when this starts happening? Your logic mind, the left hemisphere of your brain. So Christians have a term, a thing that they say, and they say, let go and let God. What are they talking about? They're talking about the left hemisphere of the brain where the ego is. Surrender your ego. What does that mean? That means let go. Let go of the ego. It doesn't mean to kill the ego. It doesn't mean to deny that it's there. It will always be there. But it's like, okay, don't listen to the ego, because the ego always thinks it's right. Yes, they should be taught in schools, Rita. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. That's a huge compliment. So now, okay, so now you're getting ideas, right? But the left brain, the ego kills it, because the ego goes, well, you're not going to get enough money for that, right? It's $1,500 a person, right? Blah 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 blah, and it'll give you facts. It'll give you logic. Okay. Now let's say that you're trying to create a new business. You think, well, okay, maybe I should do a business. So you get the thought in your conscious mind. Now you think it over and over and over. It goes into your subconscious as a belief. You need to use your imagination. So imagination is a right brain function, the right hemisphere of your brain. Imagination, creativity, intuition, that's God. Okay? The voice of God, or the voice of your creator, or the voice of infinite intelligence, or the voice of Jesus Christ. It's not really a voice, it's a feeling, but we hear it in our voice. Okay? When you trust intuition more and you surrender the ego, let go of the ego, okay, you're going to live a better life. But it takes time to trust. That's all. Okay? And the reason why it takes time to trust is because we're used to going with the ego. Because the ego leads us, right? The ego goes, well, this is logical, let's do this. And then you get an idea over here from the right brain, intuition. The first time I hear you is very interesting. I'm from Ethiopia. Oh, Ethiopia. Wow. Nice to meet you. Hi. We're here every day, same time. Every day. 7 a.m. Hawaii time. Whatever time it is right now in Ethiopia. It's 42 minutes before now. And then tune in every day. We're here. Nice to have you. Thank you for being here. So the ego, okay, in the left hemisphere of the brain says, this is logical, okay? You can do this. Do it this way. This is logical. On the right hemisphere of the brain, you get the creative ideas. Well, maybe I should start a business. Maybe I should make sandals. Now, if you don't surrender the ego, what's going to happen is, or ignore the ego is going to start to rationalize you out of your manifestation, out of your creative idea. How does it do that? Well, have you ever had an idea? Okay? And pretty soon, in about an hour or two, you think it's a crazy idea? You know, the idea, right? Oh, I'm going to make sandals and start a business. I'm going to have a sandal business. I'm going to make sandals. And then you start thinking about it. You start ruminating it, right? Thinking about it. And what does your logic brain tell you? Well, nobody in our family ever did a business before. Only people with a lot of money can do a business. Oh my gosh. All of these things. And pretty soon, what do? You go, yeah, that was a crazy idea. Now you don't trust your crazy ideas. I'm here to say, trust your crazy ideas. If you put my name into a browser, any browser or AI, it will show you my companies. It will show you what I've done. It will show you some pretty crazy stuff. Because I trusted my crazy ideas. And because I had good mentors. Okay, when you read this stuff on your own, it's kind of different than when you have a coach, when you have a mentor. I had good mentors. And these guys accomplished a lot. Okay, one of these guys was an entertainer, and he was known worldwide. He was known around the world in the 60s and 70s. And I got to sit next to him from the time I was 17 years old till I was 21. And in those years, I learned a lot. And one of the things he always used to tell me was, you need to learn to relax. Because when I was young, I was hyper, a lot more hyper. But relaxing, he wasn't just telling me to relax, to like take it easy. Okay? When you relax, when you meditate, when you sit still and close your eyes, just be still. Your intuition sharpens. It gets bigger. It grows. It gets sharper. It gets more defined. What else happens? You start to receive intuitive thought more often. It's almost as if it gets louder. It's not getting louder, it's getting stronger, but it's getting more frequent. And you can check in. When I bought my first new car in 2007, I told this story before. I checked in. The guy at the car lot, I pulled into the car lot. He said, hey, can I help you? I said, yeah, I'm looking for a car. He took me to see the used cars. He said, did you see anything you want? And I checked in. I was checking in with God, what I believe to be God. Okay, whatever you believe is in here. And I checked in with that. And The feeling was no. So I said, no. He goes, would you like to see new cars? And I checked in, just like this, just like this. Yes, like that. That's what it looks like. I paused and I asked inside. Ask, believe, receive. I asked inside. And then I gave the answer when I felt the answer. Too many times people rush. They try to answer, 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 answer. How many people think before they talk? Okay, so all you have to do is ask before you talk. When it's an important thing. If it's just you and your friends, you don't have to do that. But it guided me, okay? So God guided me through that whole process. And I left with a $58,000 car on signature, no down payment. My credit was fine, and I got accepted by the largest bank in Hawaii. I didn't know what my credit score was because I don't keep track of those things. I just work. I still don't keep track. I let my CPA keep track of the business. I let my investment counselor take care of the investments. I just work. That's all I do. My focus is work. It's always been that way. I don't want to learn 100,000 things. I want to focus on what I'm good at. And I'm good at teaching. So that's what I focus on. Just like a plumber, right? Probably focuses on plumbing. The good ones, right? That's why they're good. Okay. Thank you, Rita. Thank you. Amen. And so I just check in like this. Okay. Now, what do you need to do to really get this process going so it's really good? Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization, just like I described it. This will make a huge difference in your life. It will change your life. Why? Because you need to give up the logic. This is logical. That's logical. You hear people now, they say, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Never mind the making sense part. Okay? When you let go and let God, okay, or let go and embrace whatever you believe in, okay? For me, it's God. But when you let go and let God, you get guided in a much smoother process. Everything just happens. Everything just happens. Jay is a witness to this. Jay's known me for a while. Jay has seen me do this. She's seen me ask a question, then we're talking, boom, the answer comes and I tell her. You know, she sees my brain skip tracks all the time. Okay? She sees my imagination work. She sees me do all kinds of stuff. But it's only because I've practiced. That's all. The average everyday person is more interested in video games or, going to see the comedies or going out or living for the weekend or whatever, that kind of thing, or whatever they're interested in. Okay, this is also, you have to be interested in becoming like this, where you can just manifest things. And when I say manifesting, it's not only about money. If you think that money is the only way you can get something, you're suffering from limited thinking. The majority of human beings are suffering from limited thinking because you're being projected onto by all kinds of stuff. And you're very highly impressionable. Okay? Which means you start to believe things. If you see it often enough on TV, whoa, you start to believe it. Why? Because you think about it. A belief is a thought you keep thinking. Now, if you say no to the bad stuff and yes to the good stuff, or let's say it another way, okay? If you focus on what you want versus on what you don't want, everything comes into your life. Everything. Do you have to wait sometimes? Yeah, you got to be patient sometimes. You can ask me anything, Bettina. Ask me anything. Anything you're curious about based upon what you've heard me say, sure. Ask me anything. I'd be happy to help you. So, let's say, for example, you want to be more perceptive. Okay, start writing your affirmations. Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. What does this process do? Affirmation goes into your subconscious because you're writing it. The people that tell you to just speak it, it's not working as well. It goes in faster if you write it, okay? Meditation, just be still. You don't have to chant, you don't have to do things or say words you don't understand. Just be still. Close your eyes, go to a quiet place and be still and get at least 10 minutes of stillness a day. Okay? It will sharpen your awareness. Television, social media, radio, nightclubs, all of these things that all the stimulus that you go through, it distracts you out of your life purpose. Your life happens like this from within. The kingdom is within. Jesus Christ said the kingdom is within. Everything comes like this. Okay? When you start, let's say, fearing, when you start doubting, okay, and it's easy to doubt in today's world because you have all of these things coming at you. You don't know which side to be on. You don't know what side to believe. You don't know what to do, whatever, okay? But when you get like that, how can I be financially successful this year? Will I be so you need to choose whatever it is you want to be financially successful in. When you know that, then you have to use your process, okay? So conscious, subconscious, superconscious. And then you do your affirmations, meditation, vocalization, and visualization based upon what it is you want to be successful at within finance. Okay? And that could be investments, it could be anything, day trading, it could be all kinds of things like that. Thank you, Jay. So what I'm telling you is you get pulled out of things all the time. You get distracted. There's a new shiny object over here, your attention goes over here. Something happens over here, you go over here. Something bad happens, focus over there on something bad. When you get a bad thought, the bad thought will bring the emotion, okay? Guaranteed. You get a bad thought, say stop. But you have to refocus on something else, okay? Think about your baby, think about your puppies, think about whatever it is you love. Things you love, people you love. The human brain is so intricate and so advanced. You're living with a supercomputer and you don't know it. And all you have to do is a little repetition. Then it goes into the subconscious, then it's automatic. You ever see these people that, they get into a certain business and then they start making a lot of money and then they keep making money, keep making money, keep making money? It's because they have a system. Okay? Now, it doesn't have to be, like a college system. It just has to be an organized system. You see, a lot of these mom and pop restaurants, they never went to college. They couldn't afford college, but they make tons of money. Okay, they make tons of money because they have a process that works. They have a way that they treat people. They have a way that they produce their products or cook their food or whatever it is. Okay? There is a method to success. And you have to create that method for yourself. Okay? Even people that go to college, they fail. I know a lot of college graduates with a lot of degrees that end up losing everything. So it's not, you see what I'm saying, right? It's not guaranteed. It's in here. It's in your belief system. It's what you believe. What do you believe to be true in your subconscious? Well, that's what's going to come out into your life. Okay, yesterday we talked about the 12 universal laws. Okay? And we talked about whatever is going on in here, whatever you're thinking about in here, whatever your life is like in here, is going to be displayed out here. Okay? So you can always tell a lot about a person by the condition of their life, because that's what they're like inside. It's a projection. Okay? Things out here, react to things in here. When you change this, like your attitude, it changes the way people respond to you because they see it, they feel it, they feel your vibration. Like attracts like. So when you fix this one and you start becoming happy in here, guess what? you attract happy people. Guess what? Happiness comes. Okay? Happiness, joy, peace, passion, excitement, all these things come. They're all positive emotions and they all start to come. Then what happens? Then everything in your life gets better. The Indian philosopher Shanakwa said, your feelings are your God. If you feel good, you attract good. What you give, you get. Okay? What you are in here is what you attract. If you're happy, you attract happiness, you attract joy. Happiness is a choice. Okay? One of the most enjoyable hours of the day. Oh, flies by. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Bettina. Thank you, Bettina. So yeah, Bettina. So yeah, just focus on find out what it is that you want to do in finance, or what financially you want to work on. Thank you, Half Darlington. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So just decide on what it is, Bettina. Okay. Once you figure out what that thing is, focus on that. Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization, and do that concerning the topic, whatever you select the topic as, okay? It will work. Trust me, it will work. It works with every human being. So in 2026, work on your imagination. Okay? In 2026, work on your meditation, stillness. Be still. When you're still, you're going to detox from all the stimulus. The stimulus is what gives you anxiety. Okay? Be still. Now, vocalization. Start speaking positive things. Change your language. Change your language from limitation to abundance. Speak of what you want. Speak of what you desire. And not what you don't want or you don't desire. Okay? So if you want to take a vacation to, let's say, the Bahamas, start speaking about it. Speak the dream in the form of I am. I am going to the Bahamas for a vacation this year. When you become happy, you will attract the money to go. You might attract someone, and that someone might have the money to go, and that someone might take you. You see? You never know how it's going to plan out. The how is God's job. Okay? Act as if. Yes, you act as if, so that you send out that vibe, so that you start getting into the motion of becoming what it is. And when you become what it is, you attract what you become. That's exactly the way it works, Rita. Yeah. Join us tomorrow, Rita. We'll be here. Are you in France? You're in France. That's a French flag, right? Isn't that a French flag or Italian? Are you in Italy? Ah, Italian. Okay, sorry. I can't. It's kind of small from where I am. Oh, nice. Welcome, Rita. Join us tomorrow. Join us tomorrow. You're Italian? That's great. All the best singers in the world are Italian. Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, all of those guys. Pavarotti, yeah. Oh, you live in the US? Oh, nice. Okay. So anyway, guys, I need to go. It's 8 o'clock, but I'm here tomorrow. There's no sales pitch, okay? I'm not here to sell you anything, so sorry if you were expecting some kind of sales thing. But anyway, I'm on at you're in California. Okay, I'm on at 7 a.m. Hawaii time. You're very welcome, Rita. Don't call me sir. You can just call me Junior. Thank you, Manuel. Thank you for being here. 7 a.m. So 1 hour before now, tomorrow. Okay. So you want to receive $500. How do I do that? Okay. Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. Write it down like this. I am so happy and grateful now that I have an extra $500. Thank you. Okay. Now it takes a little while. Okay. So write it down first. Meditate. Be still and ask. Okay. Whoever you believe in. If you believe in God, ask God, how can I get $500? When your subconscious believes that you're seeking this $500, a belief is a thought you keep thinking. Your subconscious will look for ways for you to accomplish it. You will get ideas from the superconscious, which is God. God will give you intuitive thought. Follow the intuitive thought, and that will lead you to your $500. In my case, I used to do that all the time. I got up to $5,000, but they came in forms of contracts. So, yeah, so sometimes it comes through your business. Sometimes people give you money. Sometimes you get a tax rebate that you didn't uh, sign up for. I got a tax rebate from Social Security. It was just like about a month ago, and turns out that they owed me money for like 5, 6 years ago, and it just came last month. And I was like, whoa, was I grateful? Of course. Did I think it was God doing that? Of course. And I thank God for that, and I was grateful for it. So yeah, you never know how things are gonna happen. Okay, so just do those things, and you'll be good. All right, guys, I gotta go, but thank you, and we'll see you guys